Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Messy Monday, where we are using inks and sprays together. And it is series 19 of 30 Days of Sketches. This is the sketch by Sheri Stewart. And I am doing something pretty similar. I wanted to show you guys this layout was actually packed for a retreat that I was going to, or that I went to, but I never got around to making it. So that's how I pack up my page kits. I put everything I need in there. It has a 12 by 12 on one side, and then it's got pockets on the opposing side. It is a totally Tiffany it goes product. It goes in one of the big binders, so it does hold everything, pretty much everything I need. Of course, none of the mixed media is actually in there, but the stencils and a few embellishments that I think I might use. And then I might just be bringing, you know, my box of labels and tickets and a few other things like that. But if I had alpha stickers, I would stick them in there. In this case, I just brought a few die sets with me. And anyway, that is pretty much how I pack for a retreat when I page kit things. So I took Sandy's stencil. This is from Scrapping Reflections, and it's the airplanes. And sorry guys, my phone is going crazy right now. I went through and used some embossing powder on it, and I then sprinkled some clear embossing, well, I used embossing ink right through the stencil. Then I sprinkled embossing powder over it to pick up all of the images. I had to do it a few times. I did it like 3 times because some of those little areas were pretty small, and my ink pad is not super juicy. I've had that ink pad for probably at least 10 years, and it's never been re-inked or anything like that. So here I am just lining it up again and putting it over. And you can actually do this with embossing powder. You can do multiple images or layers of it, and then it looks even more glossy. The thicker you put it on, the thicker the plastic is, or the finish is. The not thicker, well, it is thicker, but it's less bumpy, it's more smooth. So then I took it over to my paint splatter box, and then I sprayed some Dylusions on it in lime and in London blue, and then I did some sprinkling of the shimmer version of lime and London blue right over it as well. So I sprayed it with the flat color, and then I sprinkled a little bit of the sparkle shimmer portion over it. This paper is from Studio Tech Trek, and it's been in my stash for quite a long time, so I'm sure it's no longer available. And then I did offcut my background paper and to create a border all the way around it, which is what is in the actual sketch. And then the offcuts, I am just gluing those down to create a nice dark border around the mixed media piece. It's also going to help it lay nice and flat, but I wanted to make sure that you could see it with the other paper underneath. Now the other paper, I'm going to cut it and stretch it because it does, I probably could have used it like maybe a 1/2 inch or an inch wider than it actually is, but I'll be cutting it and making it work. So I've got the last 2 photos of the kids at this park that playing on the airplane. This is the middle of the 3 kids, and the other 2 each have their own layout, and so I wanted to make sure I did hers as well. And then I'm using some Catherine Pooler inks in Melon Ice, I believe, and something borrowed. I think it's called Melon Ice, and then and something borrowed. So putting a nice little border around my paper there just to give it a little bit of color. I don't want it like bold in your face, but I do want it to kind of reflect the colors that are in that paper, airplane paper. I thought that would look really cool. And then I'm just using my liquid glue to adhere everything down and hold it in place, and pretty much using my liquid glue for most things. So I'm liking how it's coming together so far. I did do 2 strips of paper across under my 2 photos, just like she's got in the sketch, although my two papers do not look like a band all the way across. I'm not going to make them go side to side, and they are layered versus what Sheri's got in the sketch, and I think it looks okay. The whole idea for sketches is, for at least for me, it's a jumping off point. It's not something I need to follow to a T. I really like this wood veneer airplane here, but it's not going to stay because I have a wood grain piece that I wanted to put in that frame or on that frame that has this saying that says, "May your journey always lead you home." I just thought it was a beautiful saying. These wood pieces are all from MK and her shop, Some Assemblage Required. So I swapped out my airplane for the airplane that was flying in the opposite direction, and then I actually really like the one that is like an overhead view better, so I swapped out that one, and I think that's probably how it's going to remain. I do need to remove the masking off the top of the airplanes, but there's a masking that protects when the wood is cut, and it also is adhesive backed. All of the wood grain or wood pieces over at MK's shop are adhesive backed already, and they're only a 1/16 of an inch thick, so they're really thin and they don't add much bulk to your album. I am backing this blue Polaroid frame. This paper, the little blue 6x6 sheet, or I think it's 6.5 by 6.5. It's from Kaisercraft. It's really old. It's been in my stash a long time. And the little Polaroid and the brackets, the bracketed papers are both from that same collection. And I don't actually know the name of the collection off the top of my head, but since Kaisercraft is no longer around, I don't, or at least not doing scrapbooking, as to my knowledge anyway. Yeah, they're not something that you're going to probably be able to find either. So I just liked the different layers of blue. I like that it actually has some gray and black in it, and I think it works really well with the photos. The photo looks like I'm actually doing two of the same photos, but her facial expressions are different in them, so I wanted to go ahead and use both of those. That is my little vacuum. It is cleaning up all of the paper dandruff from using the edge distressor from MK's shop, and so that is going to, that's something I just got on Amazon. I'll try to put the links down below for everything that you see me using. And while I finish up doing my embellishing, I want to remind you there are a bunch of people playing along with 30 Days of Sketches. There is a playlist down below, so you can check that out. There is also a link to MK's channel, so you can go and see what she is doing for Messy Monday as well today. I believe she's using the same sketch, so you can go and check that out. I was inspired to use that Polaroid by the squares that are behind the photos. Even though they're not Polaroids, it did inspire me to pull out a frame of some sort. And so hopefully you can see where I got my inspiration from. This layout is almost done. I really, really like how it's coming out. It's fairly simple, but I think the mixed media really just makes it. And I did sprinkle a little bit more of that Dylusions Shimmer Spray in both the lime green and the London blue around the background. So I purposely chose this dark background to kind of pick up the darkness from the trees and whatnot. It is actually a really dark navy blue. It's not black. It kind of looks black, but it's not. And then I'm going to add these two clips. Those were also in MK's shop. I don't know if she still has those available or not, but if she does, I'll link them down below for you so you can check that out. And I did use a little bit of twine from Stampin' Up. It's their linen thread, and I am putting it on the top of this tag. The tag is not going to show because I think it says something about Father's Day or Best Dad or something like that. There were a lot of captions in this Kaisercraft paper pad that had to do with dads and whatnot, but I don't want that part to show. Obviously there's no dad in this photo and it's not really applicable. I do know I need something else up at the top there, so I'm going to take these pieces that are offcut from the side and I'm going to tuck them right up above and just bring in a little more interest, because the blue on blue on blue is kind of needs a little bit of something to help it kind of pop out. So that's what I chose to do, and I think it works really well. So just don't discount those little tiny pieces that you trim off your layout. They sometimes finish the whole thing off for you. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I would really love for you to consider doing that. I'll be back again on Wednesday with another one, so come back and check that out. Thanks so much for spending time with me. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you again on Thursday with another, or not Thursday, Wednesday with another video. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.